The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of the public access channel, the Kitty Rose Lifestyle, or the program underwriter.
First of all, and thank you. Like for real, thank you. You will never see the first footage, but
No
but thank
question.
you. And I appreciate that because we're building a friendship,
Absolutely.
but outside of building a friendship, this was based on brother and sister out there doing the thing
Sure.
and that type of support.
Sure.
And folks don't always understand that because with us not quite being friends history
It's hard to
with
really
a busy schedule.
No question. It's hard
Like when
to
I spoke to
find
you
the
last
time.
week and you was like, I'm getting ready to get on the plane. And that's your life right now. Like I don't even know how often you're really here in New York.
Yeah. It's pretty rare these days, but it's when I'm here, I try to stay as active as possible just to make sure that the community is getting the knowledge or the products or information that I want to give them.
So you're in an industry that is predominantly on the money side, not people of color.
Predominantly.
Okay, now
On the big legal.
right on the big now
yeah, predominantly.
every culture partakes in cannabis, but on the wider scale, those that's actually making a profit from it don't necessarily look like us. But you've been able to break into this industry where it started out as you using and then made it into, or did you make it into a business? Like how did a habit, if I could call it a habit, become into how you feed your family now?
Well, I'm a marketing guy.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I market products and companies in the cannabis industry.
Okay.
Through that, I've created a brand of my own and began to market myself
Okay.
separately from some of the brands. But that, of course, always helps the brands. But I'm a marketing guy.
Okay.
I do marketing promotions. I consult businesses, small to medium-sized businesses. So I mean that's part of it. And
Okay.
how me personally, how I was able to break into the actual legal part of the industry.
And now all you do with that marketing background is then marketing out products that are in the cannabis community, or do you have other clients as well that you still take on, or is it like fully
No, I definitely.
full-time?
It's largely cannabis.
Okay.
There's no doubt. But there are other brands and entities that I appreciate and understand that are not just medical marijuana brands. So
Okay.
yeah, I get involved for sure.
Okay. How has the cannabis industry financially worked out for you?
Well, I mean, because it's a lucrative business, it's technically it's America's new crop, and because the actual legal side of the business makes so much money in so many ways, it's like the music business. Like you don't in the music business, you don't have to be a rapper, a singer, or entertainer, or produce music to make money in the actual industry.
Right.
There's an actual industry. There's a variety of ways for you to do it. Within it. So, I mean, for me, that's kind of the route that I've chosen.
Okay. And has it been more lucrative when it comes to cash flow,
Oh, for sure.
or peace of mind flow? Because
Well-
that's the difference too. Because you can work, you can make a lot of money, and not have a peace of mind.
Well, one, to answer your first question, yes.
Okay.
The cannabis industry makes
It's
it makes a lot of money. There's a
Okay.
ton of options. There's still random opportunities that can easily be innovated right now.
Why isn't there, before you answer my second part of that question, why isn't there more of us taking advantage of that opportunity?
It's not a point of whether we can, it's whether we are allowed to.
Oh.
I don't even remember the second part, so I need you to remind me the
So
second
the
part.
second
of the
part
question.
was, yes, it's been lucrative, but you know how we can still have something lucrative and not have peace of mind.
Oh, okay.
So has it been lucrative and
all right.
also?
So let me go back to that. Okay,
Yes.
right. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You know, we smoke.
Smoke a lot.
We smoke. All right, so short-term memory is kind of tight sometimes.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that being said, I started my company, Puzzle Marketing and Media,
Okay.
over 20 years ago and became an entrepreneur largely because I wanted that peace of mind. That was 20 years ago. It had nothing to do with cannabis. It had nothing to do with anything. It was just my decision as an entrepreneur. And usually that's what most entrepreneurs, that's why they're doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. They want to do it for their own freedom. They call their own shots. They're the boss. They work with, that was one of the big things for me. I work with who I want to work with.
Okay.
Do you understand? Like if I was
For
working.
the last 20 years?
For sure.
Nice.
Like I decide who I want to work with. I don't work with you just because you're going to pay me. I have to actually like the product. I have to care about it. I have to passionately be able to talk about it to you. If I can't, then I can't sell it to you. I can't not even sell it because I'm not a seller.
Right.
I won't push it. I can't push it to you. I can't make you understand what it is if I don't like it. You understand? So yes, I personally work with who I want to work with.
Okay.
And that was a personal pet peeve of mine in corporate America. Because obviously we all have people we don't want to work with, that they're in a cubicle or a section next to ours, and they're in a department that's affiliated with ours, and we gotta, in eating meetings, we gotta affiliate with them, and we don't want to. I decided not to do that.
Was that a hard decision and transition to make, to leave corporate for that comfort? Because we know we talk about that, you know, but the security of employment,
of course,
makes it difficult.
absolutely. It was a challenge. I was scared. I mean, who wouldn't be if you've never really done it before? And really, it was really other people encouraging me. They were like, dude, you are this. You are a publicist. You are a marketing expert. It's no question. You know everybody in the city, from politicians to teachers to everybody in all the restaurants. I mean, there's not nobody, promoters and DJ. Come on, man, you know everybody. So they were pushing me almost, and that encouragement was like, all right, well, I was feeling it anyway, and with their encouragement, I saved up like 6-7 months worth of rent. And I already had a client. It was a children's book author. It was my first client. God bless Wanda Thomas. She's a childhood friend of mine anyway, but she definitely helped me become an entrepreneur just through that. And she didn't know how much, but through that I struggled a lot anyway, because there's a lot of struggle in becoming an entrepreneur, and that was over 20 years ago. So it's hard to really capture it all, but really I was scared to death. After saving some bread, I jumped out there with this client, ended up getting another, and I was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I was making about 50, 60,000 as an entrepreneur my first 2 years in, and I was like, wow, okay, I can make a living. I can at least live. You know what I'm saying? I'm not shortchanging myself, because that was always my concern, whether I could pay rent, what would happen. Like, I don't want to be on the street. Yeah, no matter how intelligent I think I am, you know what I'm saying? If I can't pay the rent, then what's it gonna be? So it was hard.
So now 20 years later, different clients, still different clients. Do you start getting into cannabis, the business, before Peacemaker, or were they the kind of like?
They were the conduit for me to actually get in the industry. There were some other things I was doing. I had been to a bunch of trade shows and had an interest and started doing some research. And that's what made me understand what I explained earlier, that you don't have to be on the mic or a producer to make money in it. Because the trade show I saw, it was like nobody had flour. It was more about them having a computer program that could help you monetize the amount of buds you had in your dispensary, or stuff like that. Or maybe a
and I had to think about what you were saying for a half a second to realize the business component to that.
I'm just saying that's what I mean. There's there's so many opportunities. You could create your own. Things are still created in other industries that have been around for 100 years. So this is still a new industry. It's like the gold rush right now. And you can actually stake a claim as long as you are innovative.
What's this right here that we got a little bit of?
I believe that's blue cheese.
Can I see what that feels like?
Sure, absolutely. Well, and
And where do y'all come up with these? Not y'all, but where does, I never get where the names come from, because I understand the different strands of cannabis, but then if there's the three main different strands, then or maybe it's not three main different strands, how is it that you got the blue cheese or the purple haze? Where are the names coming from in connection to how you feel with the bud?
Well, those are growers.
Okay.
And the growers base
Like
it on
children.
they base it on taste. And if you know anything about growers,
I don't.
they talk to plants, they don't talk to people.
Okay.
So, they're really unique, interesting
Okay.
individuals, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying, in their own way. Because
Okay.
they're artists. Like if you're an
Right.
artist,
Oh, wow.
think about it, if you're an artist, whether
Okay.
you're a painter or Basquiat, or if you're a jazz player, Miles Davis, or if you're a real artist, then there's a left side to you or another side to you that's really unique and different. That's what
Right.
makes you the
Okay.
unique genius that you are.
You don't even realize that growers are artists and that they are unique in their own.
Their understanding
Yeah.
of plants and botany is how I might understand people, because I really like people. I like meeting people every day.
Okay.
I like saying hello to strangers.
Okay.
That's what they do to plants.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I do now. I do now. I do now. That's crazy. Okay. I was having this conversation yesterday. I went to go see, what's this?
Yeah, we're gonna roll up some of that too.
Roll up some of it?
No, we're gonna smoke it.
Why does it have stuff all over it?
That's Keith. Just we're gonna make sure we keep your fingers all off it too.
Okay, yeah. Okay. You looking out for us, cameraman? I just thought about that. Let me not have nobody come roll up on us while we shooting.
This is what you tell them we're shooting for vice.
We are. But then they would have us set up in the studio.
And a budget.
You
All right.
know what I'm saying? A small one, but a budget indeed. Okay. Thank you for also doing this, because it has gotten challenging to have people also not mind partaking on camera. Because I noticed even on your Instagram, you make it clear that you don't sell flowers.
Exactly. That's
Okay.
important, because I'm a stoner. I'm a ganjapreneur. I'm an advocate. I care about medical marijuana, but that's not what I'm caring about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not about selling it to the world. I make sure that people know it exists in other places that they don't know it exists. So in my travels, a lot of times I have service too often in some of the countries that we go to, but when I do, I try to make sure that I post footage from certain festivals or trade shows that are cannabis related, so that people understand that, wow, in Berlin and Copenhagen and of course Amsterdam, but Barcelona and these places, it's actually an incredible community, and the society for cannabis is extreme.
I taste something sweet. What's that?
That's the keef. On the inside is the wax.
Okay.
Eventually, you might ask me to put this down,
Okay.
but that's what it is. It has
Okay.
keef and wax
Okay.
along with the actual bud.
Okay. So I have two questions. So the first one being, whew, okay. Wait, I'm gonna go to the second one first. I was visiting my son yesterday in college, and I'm a realist, and I realized that he does partake. So does my 22-year-old. I didn't. When you made that comment, I was like, let me not act all.
Let me go ham.
Yeah, let me not. So I was talking to my son, and my son was acknowledging what happens with him when he smokes. He becomes sluggish, so he tries not to definitely smoke during study time or class time, because it just does not work for him to be active. But for my oldest son and myself, when we smoke,
Get energy.
we get energy. It helps me multitask. I get told that I'm a lot actually calmer. I did a show I just released a couple of weeks ago when a brother was saying that he has PTSD, so it keeps him, calm and level. So how does, and no one's, people explain, you hear these not TED Talks, but you hear these forums now where people are explaining the different types of weed and cannabis and what it does. But how do you know that, but what do you know? It doesn't matter to know that if you are a stoner and not just like a pothead or something?
Well, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, you should know what you're smoking. That's number one. But on top of that,
Say it again. You should know what you're smoking.
Yeah, you should know what you're smoking. But at the end of the day, like, let's say when a rapper goes in the studio and he's like, oh my God, I'm writing all this shit, and damn, he's really smoking sativa.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's giving him energy, it's giving him thoughts, it's giving him creativity. He doesn't realize that though. He's just actually just smoking.
Right.
The average.
Okay.
He's just smoking. So tomorrow, when he's smoking indica and he's dumbed out, he's like, damn, I can't really do it. He doesn't understand what and why he was doing it.
Right.
And what the benefits of the sativa was for his artistic career. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, me personally, I prefer indica.
Okay.
I'm a pretty hyper dude.
Okay.
Like you, it's funny, your son told you what he told you. When my mother asked me what it did to me, I was like, yo, it made me get me hype. It made me really hyper when I got high. She was really surprised that I said that because she had been smoking since before I was born.
Okay.
So like,
did that encourage you to smoke? Because your mom smoked?
No, it didn't encourage me to smoke at all. But I had seen it, so it wasn't strange.
Okay.
But I had never seen her with a joint to her mouth ever.
Oh, okay.
But we had a weed plant in the house when I was a kid.
No way.
I didn't know.
No,
I didn't know it was a weed plant.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Until I heard stories later, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah. But you know, like for me, I'm a stoner.
Okay.
I like to wake and bake. I like throughout the day, and like I said, I'm a hyper guy. So for me, it does dwell me down, even though if I'm smoking sativa, it's gonna give me energy. And for me, I work all day. I'm a workaholic. I'm never not working.
Okay.
So like I have to always be functional anyway. And I guess because I'm burning all day, it's never like I'm super stoned. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. How this is not I don't want to say cheap, but it's a very expensive lifestyle.
No question. Well, that's part of
my little budget. Like I have to budget my little.
Well, that's
he
part
laughed
of.
at me today.
That's
I was
part
like,
of being in the industry.
My budget's like a quarter a week, and now that's not working.
When
like
you got little
4
friends
days.
and little hookups, and you can hook them up, and they hook you up, and then you're okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to jump out the window like. You know what I'm saying? But you know, as a stoner, you want to be able to smoke. Trust me, I've had friends that didn't pay their rent and got kicked out because they were going to buy weed. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this was 15 years ago. You know, so, like, I mean, because you really, at a certain point, when it's your lifestyle, it's your lifestyle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's still a certain way you can live, even enjoying that lifestyle, even if it's a lesser living. But for me personally, I had to make my way in the industry, and of course Peacemaker was definitely a major part of that.
Okay.
I mean, they are
Right.
the major reason that I got in.
Did you travel as much before you got with them?
Yeah, I've done some traveling, but definitely not as much as with them.
Okay.
I mean, when I first got with them, they were like, I know you got a passport, you've done some traveling, get it updated. You know what I'm saying? And yeah,
What has seen the world done?
We're in 27 countries, so we travel to those countries to stamp and further the brand, either dealing with our distributors, maybe going to new territories, expanding with new smoke shops, maybe getting new ambassadors in the area. We launched apparel. Now, this is one of our new hats.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? This is our new gear. Blaze your own trail.
Oh, I like that.
That is, we've trademarked that.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that's our thing.
Okay.
It's really blazing your own trail and really going to new territories. Next year we're looking at Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
What has seeing the world or seeing parts of the world done for you?
Well,
kid from Harlem. You from
obviously,
Harlem?
yeah, I'm from Harlem.
Okay, kid from Harlem.
I mean, I've done some traveling, but in this era of traveling, it's really different because one, cannabis is becoming decriminalized. So when
What you mean?
in America, it's legal to actually buy and walk the streets with cannabis. In the majority of the world, it's not. So when I travel to these places and we're pushing Peacemaker, they're still saying, wow, you guys are so lucky, man, it's legal there. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really understand it until you see people get locked up in the street, not even smoking. You know, cops just run up to them like, yo, let me test you, and pause. You got to lick something. Yeah. Listen to what I'm saying. The cop runs up to you and says, I need to test you.
Just random.
Random.
Okay.
Put something for you to lick, pause. You lick something, pause. After you lick it, they can see whether there's cannabis in your system. And if it's been cannabis in your system for the, I guess, last 30 days, they're locking you up.
Wait, now what?
I swear to God, this is China, this is Australia. So, like I'm saying, one, it's decriminalized here. You know what I'm saying? And Jersey is closed. New York is very close. So in America, one, they look at it like, wow, we're lucky because of the marijuana. Two, in this same era, when I travel, everybody that I've actually had more than a, hey, how you doing, or whatever, if it's a sincere conversation, they always ask me, how did you elect Trump?
Oh, word.
And I'm like, whoa, you think I elected Trump? Like, I mean,
that's the conversation.
I swear. No matter where we go. And really, I would have to. Okay. I mean, listen, let's hear me real quick. So really, I have to tell them, okay, well, listen, do you understand that he did lose the popular vote by 3 million votes? You know, there's something called the Electoral College that we have nothing to do with, that basically just made him the president, just like they made Bush a president before his second time, and even Gore the first time when they did the voting situation. There's just situations that are out of our control as the people.
But the crazy thing is that you're outside the country traveling on work, and this is the conversation that's being had.
Because America is one of the leaders of the world. True. And they have realized, just like the people of this country, like, who do we have running this place? So they're like, how did you let that happen? They'll really sincerely want to know, honestly, like, how did you let that happen?
But then you still also have other countries where, you know, the quality of living, the judicial system, I think, no, I'm all right. Well, okay. Where you have where this is done and they're not focused on what is being done here. Because I'm always curious of why is this the example of when in my mind, the countries that you're telling have better quality of living. So for you to say that it's not that way is kind of shocking to me, because the information I'm receiving is that this is a shithole and everywhere else.
Well, I'm not saying that they're not a shithole and they don't think it's a shithole, and I'm not saying they really want to just move here. What I'm saying is, when it comes to cannabis, they're like, you guys are lucky. Okay. It's legal there.
But it's not.
It's legal in Cali. It's legal in Colorado. It's legal in Seattle. It's legal in Oregon. It's legal in Massachusetts. It's legal in Maine. It's legal in Vermont. And it's medically legal in over 26 states. And those states will eventually become legal. They're not even in progression to moving that rate. When we...
How do you feel that?
It was scary when we were in Australia, but I had to understand, okay, this is how it is here. But we were rolling with veterans, and so they were like, we need to leave at this time of day because the police will be on the street any other time of the day, because we're going to Mardi Gras in the middle of the bush in Australia. So we're leaving at 6 in the morning, but there's people actually, it's like a trap. The police know everybody's going to Mardi Gras, so they're setting up and they're just pulling people over. When on our way back, everybody was partied out and stoned, and we had a great show for Peacemaker, and our distributor had a great show. So we left a little bit later than we wanted to, and I was able to see it. Like, we didn't just drive early enough where we just missed it all. We actually were almost caught up in it, driving back from Mardi Gras, rather. You know what I'm saying? And in that, it's like, wow, the cop is pulling over 2 cars in front of us, like waving them to the side, and then he sees us and tries to wave us, and we just hit the gas. Now, if he had saw us and waved us to the side, we would have probably been in some Australian jail, just because we had been tasting bud, quite a bit of it, you know what I'm saying, at Mardi Gras. There's 10,000 people there in Nimbin, and because in Nimbin they kind of make their own rules and laws. So it's okay, and they allow it because they know it's in the middle of nowhere.
What do you think now about the new policy in New York where, you know, you're not going to get a ticket or arrested for smoking in the street? I'm good, thank you.
Well, I feel like that's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I guess I'm stamping the right as much as I can.
Okay.
This is as much as I have on me. I can't get arrested for this.
Okay. Do you think it's true?
I think it's a trap. I mean...
Why do you think it's a trap? Why you don't think it's progression?
Well, because I think there are probably underlying fine print, .AA laws that say otherwise that will allow to decriminalize, to criminalize characters, records, and then not allow them to get in the industry. Because that's kind of what it's about too. If you have a felony, they don't want you in the industry, or they're not allowing you in the industry.
Okay.
But simultaneously, in Washington, they actually were going back almost 30, maybe 30 years of prison sentences for people that were arrested for marijuana and releasing them.
Okay.
That was the rumor.
Out of all, because you know you're on the circuit now. You're doing these shows. You're doing interviews. You're on podcasts. You're on radio. You're on TV. What is something that, you know, doesn't get asked that you want people to know about who you are, about what you're doing, about just some shit you just want to say that you haven't gotten an opportunity to kind of like bring everything we did or talked about? Just because what I did today was just really talk about you, you know, and that's what I kind of wanted to do, and then still learn some shit along the way, which is always a bonus. Last time I think I asked about your childhood a little bit and asked about wifey and all that shit, but there was again with other elements, and just today I was able to kind of just have a conversation with you. So I don't know, is there something?
Well, I got some gifts for you. I got some gifts for you and the team.
So right now we like gifts, and this is from what now? Peacemaker.
Yes.
And I keep saying it wrong. I say Peacemaker.
Peacemaker Gear is the name of the company.
So it's
Peacemaker Gear.
Not Peacemakers, because that's something different when I
Exactly.
That's so cute and pretty. So girly.
Glows in the dark.
Now, what is the benefit to that? Because you did explain that to me, and I kind of want to...
Well, you know, for some stoners, they just can't find what they're looking for. If they're smoking in the dark, they know their ashtray. They can see it. They can easily ash in their ashtray.
Amen.
This ashtray has multiple purposes. You can clean your pieces, as well as maybe you can stuff joints with this. This is for your dab tools, your lighter, certain affiliated pieces.
How old is this piece? Like, when did y'all start doing this?
About a year and a half ago.
Okay. How old is the company?
About 5 years.
Nice. Look at this. You know, you can't never go wrong with a woman giving gifts. And then you said something about how easy it is to like fold or something and disclose, like to take in a club.
Yeah, that's why it's special.
Okay, why is that? Say it again to make sure they hear it.
Well, I mean, it's easy to clean. You can just put this in your freezer, wet it and put it in your freezer. After you put it in your freezer, you can take it out and crack it, and all the dirt and resin is going to be in the ice.
Okay.
And then you just simply rinse it off like anything else. But you could stuff it, you could pack it rather, put it in your pocket, and then you can pull it out here. You can pull it out at the carnival, you can pull it out at the pool, the beach. You can pull it at the house, you know, because you're traveling with it. It's easy to travel with. It's unbreakable. These are the one-hitters that are go on your keychain.
Don't do that.
This is a collaboration that we did with Buckshot from Duckdown Records and Black Moon. Yeah, this is his pipe.
This is Small World. I was just at Evil Z's house on Saturday because he's getting ready to do the intro for the new season of the show.
There you go. Yeah, see? It's all full circle.
Yeah, man.
This has a grip in the front, carb in the front. It's pretty easy. It's easy to clean the same way.
Ooh.
And yeah, you can fold this up and put this in your pocket too.
Well, we're not gonna get into that. They can go where now?
Yeah,
Tell them where to go.
peacemakergear.com. That's PIECEMAKERGEAR.com. Peacemakergear.com. That's peacemaker with an I.
Now, next time, I'd rather have some gear that I can rock, like blaze your, what's that, own path?
Blaze your own trail.
You know, that would look real cute.
BYOT is.
That would look
There you
fantastic.
go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
So that would be the thing you would want folks to know? It's just,
Well,
you know.
At the end of the day, it's
Yes, please.
education over recreation. This industry is more about giving than taking.
What you mean by that?
At the end of the day, it's all about the love. When I'm in certain areas of the country or the world, and you're around, I guess, a farm, you know, and you're talking about plants, and you understand the mentality of how they don't even look at it like we're trying to be kingpins, or we're not trying to be the plug, or we really are doing this because it's a passion and we want the world to have this shit. You know what I'm saying? So really, like, I take an approach. I've always taken it, but when I'm around them, it makes me feel comfortable that I give as much as I give, because I try to give a lot. I give a ton of stuff to the community, to people that are around me, just because I want people to understand what it is. You know, me doing traveling isn't, and posting videos and showing off. It's like showing you, this is where you need to be too, or where this is where you can be, because this is what's going on. So in Chile, they got Expo Cannabis, and Uruguay, they got Expo Weed. How else would you know about these things unless somebody in your community that knows you is like, yo, man, you need to learn about this. It's kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's kind of what I try to do. I try to encourage others quite a bit through my actions. And I see it, like my DM is lit by a lot of people, like, yo, I love what you're doing, keep it up, you made me do this, you inspire me, da, da, da. And that's the goal, you know what I'm saying? On top of me marketing the clients and brands that I do, it definitely is to encourage and enlighten people.
And I think that's like the beauty of this, because there's not one way to be an activist. There's not one way to affect your community, you know. And just because you may not be doing it the way that seems traditional to others, who one says was traditional, but the fact that there's still an impact that's being made to move forward.
Got a man, I'ma fall back. You just saying like in your day. Gave him more that you and now you stuck, you try to get your heart back. Don't know if I do fake it or watch it, sometimes I saw that.
Welcome to Dining with Diplomats, the show that travels the globe without leaving town.
What garbage bag?